Mrs. Daly is just letting you see. I think remove these flags for starting 2 minutes up.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the City of Kingston Historic Landmarks Preservation Commission meeting. Tonight is October 5th, 2023. My name is Suzanne Cahill. I'm the Planning Director for the City of Kingston. And I just have a couple of quick things to say. We are live streaming and recording the meeting. So we do ask that if you do have any conversations outside of the commission meeting discussions, please take them outside. You can go in the council chambers if you need to. Bathrooms are through the council chambers, and as you go all the way through, men's is to your left and women's to your right. We do ask, again, I said that you silence your cell phones, please. And with that, I'm going to turn the meeting over at 6:29 to Mark Rumblatt, who is the chairperson for the HLPC, to introduce the commission members and other staff.
Evening all. I'm Mark Rumblatt. I chair Historic Landmarks. I'm going to ask the other members of our board here tonight to introduce themselves. I'll start with you, Kevin.
I'm Kevin McAvoy, Commissioner on this board.
Eddie Morano, Commissioner.
Andrea Putes, Architect of the Commission.
All right.
Ms. Kyla.
Oh,
I'm the assistant planner in the planning office, filling in for Ethan, who's unavailable tonight.
and she is the mistress of our screen. We are going to be putting plans up there, and it all happens magically as far as I can tell. All right. First order of business, has everyone had a chance to review the minutes of our last meeting? Are there any changes, amendments, clarifications you'd like to put in the record? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Andrea Putes, so moved.
Thank you, Andrea. Is there a second?
Eddie Morano, second.
Thank you, Nettie. Seeing no further discussion, I'll call the roll. Kevin?
Aye.
Nettie?
Aye.
Andrea?
Aye.
I also vote yes. All right, next up is 93 Fair Street. Have we got folks here for that?
Yes, me.
Ah, yes, the former Pink House.
That's great. Hello.
Hi. I think the questions on this one are focused on the front door. There's a lot going on there that looks good. Tell us what the plan is for that entryway.
Yeah, so pretty much it has obviously the old architecture in the front entryway with the Greek Bible. We were looking to give an exact replica. It's severely damaged and rotted and pulled away from the water damage of the house. And so it's to make the replica of what was there. So it's not changing anything, just to make it new. It's going to be all mahogany with the door and the surround. And there's a sketch. I have a master. Yep, there it is.
And I noticed that you seem to be depicting glass that's a lot smaller than what's actually there now. Do you think you can match what's there or use some of what's there?
That's what I wanted to run by you guys, because I'm working with a master craftsman who had a lot of experience with this, and he said the proportions of actually the old one are off based on his experience. But I mean, I could do it exactly how it was. He just said that there shouldn't be, in his opinion, that there was too many glasses for too more panes than proportionally would have is appropriate, but
All right, so I'm counting
I'll leave
five
that.
down and you're showing like 8.
I think it was 7.
Yeah,
And again, we could do 5. It's just,
yeah, I don't know what the choices were back when this was built, but this appears to be the last bit of original. And if Kingston decided to be a little weird back in 18, whenever, we're supportive.
So the other aspect was the door that is there versus the door that's being proposed. There's a definite distinction there as well. So, I mean, if we're doing a replica, we want to obviously replicate as many of the features that are existing. So we'd like to see that as well carried through, or I don't know, this door per se, it's hard to tell from some of these photos and I haven't been up close to it, but I mean, I see rot in the frame. So I get, replacing that wood. Is there a potential to use this door and put that door into a new frame?
potentially.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying
Yeah.
maybe we can pull this piece and keep at least that aspect of your front door. And then the frame maybe gets redone and replicated and work it that way.
It's possible.
Okay.
We prefer to do on the door.
Yeah, again, I'm going back to Mark's statement that this is probably the last remaining feature, externally on the building. And so to try and keep as much of that, on the street face, because it's, a historic district, to keep as much of that on the street face as possible, I think is our goal here, one of our goals.
Right, and if it is impractical for whatever reason, I would ask that instead of what I saw in the sketch, that we try and replicate the 2-panel. Is that an issue for your carpenter, or is that something easily done?
The 2-panel,
Down
Down below.
on the door.
yeah, that's doable.
It shouldn't, I would think it would be.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's,
Yeah, I mean, I prefer not the glass, but that's just my opinion.
not the glass?
I mean, it just, yeah, I mean, there's plenty of houses in the historic district with solid doors. I mean,
Yeah, I don't have a problem with,
it's not like a modern door or anything. It's-
right here, we're not putting in the weird sort of beveled glass stuff that I'm seeing.
But I mean, if you wanted glass, we could do glass.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to see this door reused. I mean, I think that would be, a good compromise to me. And then replicate, the frame and the side lights.
Was this door originally with glass at the top?
I mean, before I'm assuming. I'm not sure if that was the original door, because the whole front facade was changed years back. They put a chimney on the side of the house to make Franklin Ave see more of the front of the house, so that this see more of the side of the house, so.
What is the wood of the door, the current door? It's not mahogany, is it?
I'm not sure. But, yeah, I would like just a solid new door to match.
If it's.
I mean, if you can research and find an older photo of a different original door, I mean, that, you can always present that as an alternative, but that's what we've got to work with right now. We don't have anything different in our file.
All right, then I'll replicate that one.
Okay.
There was a question about facing, Bluestone facing.
You know what, I'm sorry, going back, I mean, we could replicate the door, but is there somewhere I could find like the old stuff, glass? It's not gonna be like an old. I mean, even if I replace that.
Yeah, I mean, there are places, that you can look, I mean, there are some locally in Kingston, just over on, Pine Grove. There's, a place over there that has a lot of salvage. You might even find a door, you know, you might find other elements there. I know that we, had an individual downtown that went on Marketplace online and found windows that were retrofitted that he bought and put in his house, to replace some of his older windows. So, I mean, there are places out there. I can have Ethan send you a couple of the sites that he's researched. And that other people have given to us, so we're creating a list, but yeah, there are places out there.
Right, I think there's a big one that does windows and doors up by Chatham.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just that the whole entire house is it's gonna be new replica, so. I
Yeah,
mean, I also don't want it,
We don't want it to be dysfunctional in any way, but if we can hang on to whatever bits we've got, we'd really appreciate that. And if
I can try, I just wanna get approval for a new door, and I don't wanna be, and then if I can find one, great.
well, I think just if that door is salvageable, I think that's the first thing, that to see if that door is restorable, okay? I think that's the first question to answer. If it's not, I'd like to see the reason why it's not, but,
I mean, it's
use that
up,
door.
it's kind of my choice whether I wanna replace it with, let's say historical standards or restore it. I mean,
Well, this
Am I
commission has authority to say yes or no to that.
Right, we can do an either or sort of arrangement, but we would ask you to show us your effort on the first choice before shifting to the second. So if we need extra help and we can give it, we're happy to do that. If we know some resource that perhaps you weren't aware of, we'd like to be able to help you with it. And if it can't be done, it can't be done.
it can't be done.
You're positive you've already looked? Where have you looked? And explain.
Oh, the door's not existing anymore, so we don't have any other choice.
So you've removed the door.
I
According
did.
to what you wrote, we asked about, we saw that it was boarded over and.
Well, to tell you the truth,
it
it was actually a miscommunication.
You said
And
that
some
it
of
was
the
still
guys, I
there.
told the guys to box it in, because we'd have to box the whole thing in, and they knew the original idea was to get rid of it. So they got rid of the whole entire thing. So, I mean, I don't.
What's an entire thing here? I was there, my office is about 2 blocks from there.
But in an email earlier this week, you said the door was still there, it was just covered over
I didn't say it was
because.
still there.
Uh,
I said it was
Yes.
covered, I said it was covered to protect from the elements.
That's the lights on top, is my understanding what that was referring to. Are we talking,
The whole doorway's been boarded over. So we asked why that was, and he said that it was boarded over to protect it from the elements, and he was waiting to see what happened at the meeting this week.
To proceed.
No indication that anything had been removed. So you've removed the whole door and that,
I did personally, but it's,
so it's gone. Is it destroyed?
Everything around it?
yeah, it's all gone.
okay then.
That's why it's very important that I replicate it exactly.
Council about this first.
Yeah. All right, is Rob around? Do you want to do a second call? Can you give him a ring? Matt, sorry. Jenny Caskey.
I think we can try. I don't know if he's coming tonight.
All right, we're going to give you a second call. We're going to check in with Corporation Counsel on what the best course is to do. If, do you need some time or shall I just keep going?
You can keep going, I'll try and reach him.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll give you a second call. All right. Next up, 814 North Front. We have someone here on this.
Yes,
Oh, 8214?
yes.
Sorry, I thought it was 814. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, hi. Please.
4 to 8, really.
Well, there's an interesting battle between the old tax numbers and the street numbers.
Got it.
And that may be what's causing confusion.
Understood.
I'm just here to support Rob.
Yes.
Hi there.
Hello.
So you've got some signs in mind.
Okay. We're going to prefer not to call them signs. I think that's one of the questions tonight.
Banners.
Because they're art and they're not signs. But there was no, currently in all of the guidelines, there really wasn't a category that suitably fit what it is that we're looking to install, which is really public art. So I know Sue had looked through the big old book. But
Right.
couldn't find anything other than the category of signage.
Right, because this is being hung on a building, that makes the most sense. It's not like a mural, so it's not exactly the same. It's closer to a sign, I understand that. So these are messages, photographs, both. What do you have in mind? Please explain.
Sure, so the project is called the I Matter Project, and it's been in existence for 10 years. And since I now moved to the Hudson Valley, I decided it would be great to bring it here. So it's a campaign that goes beyond just what you see here. There's an audio component, and Radio Kingston is on board as my partner for the audio part, so that folks of all walks of life, women actually, and in Kingston, this is geared specifically toward women of every age, race, socioeconomic, everything, has an opportunity to be seen and heard. So thanks to Judy, Senate Garage is potentially the first location, and there's 4 others that are lined up, and with the possibility that this could become a city-wide campaign. So the last, I lived in Connecticut for about 5 years, and so New Haven adopted the campaign as a citywide campaign there and it's actually still there. And so it's designed to generate conversation. It's designed to make people stop and think and ask questions and engage in a new way about people that they may normally not engage with, and in a way that they would not normally engage.
And
Interesting.
there's photographs of all local people, so.
Yeah,
Okay, so it'll be photos with messages.
with an audio player, and also so each
Can you make a motion to executive session? You only has a few minutes.
Oh, all right. So should we adjourn or should we ask folks?
You need
leave?
to make a motion to go into executive session, somebody needs to second it, everybody approves it, and then
Right.
everybody leaves, and they go out, and we talk to him, he's on the speaker.
Okay, I'm real sorry to cut you off. But do we need to turn some lights on outside?
I can handle that.
Thank you, Kyla.
Make a motion?
I move that we enter executive session to discuss a particular
Yeah.
item with our attorney.
So, Henry.
Thank you. Do I hear a second? Thank you, Kevin. I will call the roll. Kevin? Nettie?
Aye.
Andrea?
Aye.
I also vote yes. Thank you.
It'll
It'll be a bit. We'll call you back in a
Too
bit.
bad there's no coffee.
Yes.
Yeah. There you said. Okay, Matt, you're on speaker.
Did you,
Yeah, do we need to
did you-
pause?
All right, can everyone hear me?
I'm gonna,
Hold on 1 second.
We need to pause. All right, I move that we leave executive session. Do I have a second?
So, Andrea.
Thank you, Andrea. All those in favor, I'll call the roll. Kevin?
Aye.
Nettie?
Aye.
Andrea?
Aye.
I also vote we come out of executive session.
Take seats. Right, you're going to finish this.
More frustrated since they
Yeah,
sat here.
we'll
Yeah.
finish this guy.
We'll go back and then we'll double back. Thank you. Thank you for your patience, everyone.
Resume it.
Yes, please.
As you were saying.
Okay, so you have these, is this a fair representation of what they're gonna look like? Or is that bigger, smaller?
These
What
are,
we
these
doing?
are a little bit larger because they exceeded the limit, which I believe Sue is what, 60 square feet?
And what,
60 square feet is the limit, and you reduce the size so that you're at 59 point something square
Right.
feet per sign. So
Right.
the size no longer is an issue. Under the new form-based code, though, you'll see in your notes, there are two waivers that he has submitted for consideration to the planning office. And so this board, this being in a historic district, needs to make recommendations back to us on those waivers. The one is the number of signs, because he is only permitted one. And the second is the location, being on the side of a building. And you can only have these types of signs on the front of the building. And are we talking duration as well? I mean, you're gonna keep these permanent, right? These are meant to be permanent signs that, we talked about this in the office, and I'm sorry, I don't know if this was spoken about earlier when I was out of the room, but you're not changing these out. This is not like an exhibit that will be changed out every quarter, every 3 months or 2 months or whatever. These are gonna be permanently installed.
And the other thing I had mentioned in your absence, Sue, was the question of whether or not they will indeed be categorized as signage. I know when I had left your office, that was something that was.
Right, we have to, at this point, absent an art policy
Mhm.
in the city of Kingston, they are signs,
Okay,
okay? And that's the way we're looking at them for the time being. In the future, there is an art policy that's being worked on right now, and they may be moved into that category. But
okay,
right now, this is what we have to work with under the code.
okay. And where we had left off just before we left was in I was explaining the audio part of this. That there, at the very least, there will be a need to have some signage that is closer to the sidewalk, which would have a QR code on it, that people could scan the QR code and then hear the voices of the people that are on the building speaking. And, but now that, thanks to brand new technology, I've come upon a little solar powered audio player that can be mounted, it's just like the size of a little tissue box. And that can be mounted in an area where people can just walk up to it and press it. And for people who just don't know what a QR code is, don't know how to scan a QR code, we don't want to exclude anybody from having that experience.
okay, so we probably had nothing to say about this tissue box size thing. I'm trying to understand the mechanics here, but it's a little different than I'm used to, so do bear with. So that'll be mounted on the wall as well, that will be sitting on the ground, what are we?
Well,
Closer to the
Yeah.
street.
Closer to the street, so there's a fence between the sidewalk and the wall. So for pedestrians to be able to access that audio, we need to
Okay.
come up with something that would be closer to the sidewalk. But it's a secondary piece right now, that's not
All right,
important.
so we're looking at 4, and we're covering over 2 signs that are already there?
The two signs will be coming down, those are temporary signs.
Okay, so
So
we're,
you have a lease, is that how it works? He has a lease with you to occupy the space?
It's a good idea. Yeah.
I'm just kind of curious because
Yeah.
your lease is like a 5-year lease or whatever.
Yeah, I
We have a fair amount of experience with on buildings in historic districts. And, for example, O Positive has a 3-year agreement. With
I don't
building
think that we would keep it up even for 3 years, but we would like to have the option. The other thing is that because of the O Positive experience, these are being screwed into the building. They're not vinyl adhesives that are being adhered to
Right,
the.
that's why there's signs.
Got it, okay. That makes a certain amount of sense to me. So, my thought is that if it's the sort of thing that since the city is dealing with trying to set up a different regime which may apply here, we should consider time limitation. I mean, we're used to 3 years, perhaps that's too long. Perhaps it should be a 1 year and then renewable.
Well, we're looking at these as signs. I mean, if they have a separate private agreement, a sign is a sign, and they come and go all the time. I don't think they want a duration, a time frame listed on this. These are not considered temporary signs.
Okay,
So
so,
looking at it as a permanent installation, and if they decide to change the sign, or that, we'll deal with that when we get to it. We'll have the art policy in place at that point.
Yeah.
okay. All right, so the two waivers, they seek commentary are on number.
We
You're
didn't-
looking at 4 on the face of the building in this arrangement. Is that fair? Is that what we're gonna
Right,
be
4 on
looking
the
at?
side.
Or perhaps, right, Judy, you had suggested that there'd be one of them that would be more an explanation of the project, and that there'd be 3 photographs. So I don't know if we're ready to make
Yeah, I
that
don't
kind of
think we're ready to make
just
that
yet.
commitment. There's probably, we applied for 4. It's possible that there would be 3 images and then an explanation on the left side, or just 3 images. But I want to apply for 4, because I figure if we get the acceptance for 4 and we end up doing 3, that's probably fine.
Right.
Okay,
I also want to just mention that when we did the project in New Haven, it was a 1-year agreement, but it's been 6 years and nobody will allow them to come down. The public won't allow them to come down. So not to say that that would happen here, but the idea that we wouldn't be from the city's jurisdiction, it would be nice to know that we wouldn't be forced to take them down. And I think that because they're falling under the
That's why we're
signage
looking at
category.
them
Right.
as.
That's
right,
permanent
not
sign.
as permanent
So,
signage,
all right.
and that would be between you and the property owner.
Right,
I mean, the property owner has the right, have the right to
of course.
okay.
take them down.
All right, so those are big looking signs. There are 4 of them facing onto North Front Street.
They're not going to be, I wanted more work around them, so besides the fact that the size actually needed to be reduced for the sign requirements, I also wanted them reduced just to keep some air around them, so I think it will look a little bit better.
Can you give me a sense of how much smaller, kind of a percentage, just so I can try and visualize?
I would say 15% smaller.
Okay,
Yeah, so maybe there'd be probably about a foot on either side between the banner and the window.
and also the height would be reduced by approximately that amount?
Yeah,
All right, that helps.
We have the original.
Oh, they submitted an update kind of?
The current, the application, this.
Was the temporary sign that was back. Okay.
My next concern is, if we approve this, does this mean any business sign that is not like a public information campaign could argue that we've covered that much of the building, they're entitled to it as well. Because we can't really complain about content.
Yeah, this is the,
And there's no, I mean, you're used to considering yourself as some artistic speech as opposed to commercial. We have to cover all possibilities.
Well, maybe, is it possible that the idea of art could be in the future?
Yeah, I mean, it could, but we're not in charge.
We're not there.
So we're just trying to do the best we can with what we got.
Interestingly, when we all stepped out of the room, this person had actually studied what he had done.
Yeah, I actually would love to speak to say I went to SUNY New Paltz to study psychology, and for my senior thesis class for narrative perspectives on human development, my professor introduced us to iMatter, and it's like very popular with college age kids.
so the original signs were 8 by 10, so those are depicted as 8 by 10 on that. And the size is going down to 7 by 8.5. So
Okay,
that's how they would shrink down.
all right. Anyone else have, I'm sorry, I have to ask you to identify yourself for the record.
My name's Kate Hoffman.
Thank you, Kate.
The other thing I'm not sure if you're clear about is that this will be going throughout the city. It's not meant to be, it won't just exist on this one building.
Right.
So it'll be something that basically the power of repetition is one of the things that.
Right, but we're starting here in a historic district, the Senate House, so we need to be a little more sensitive to that sort of stuff than other sites in the city, presumably.
I mean, as you go forward with other locations, we'll talk about what is needed for, I mean, if you're outside of the historic district, it's a different process altogether. Okay?
Mhm.
But we'll deal with that when we get there.
All right. Any other questions or clarifications folks are looking for? All right, then I'm going to move that we find that the proposed installation of wall-mounted vinyl signs on the south
Please.
State Environmental Quality Review Act. I need to entertain a motion that we declare this a type 2 action under seeker.
Motion.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Nettie. So can I move? Nettie, second. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the roll. Kevin?
Aye.
Nettie?
Aye.
Andrea?
Aye.
I also vote in the affirmative. All right, picking up where I left off. I move that our commission find that the proposed installation of wall-mounted vinyl signs on the southwestern face of 8-14 North Front Street in the Stockade Historic District.
You have to speak up a little, please.
All right, I'm sorry, my voice
Do you want
is.
me to read it? I'm just
No,
saying for the
I'm,
recording, you need to speak up a little.
I understand. I'm sorry. I'm still
Okay.
recovering from that allergic reaction.
Yep.
All right, let me take a deep breath. In the Stockade District by Rob Goldberg, applicant for the iMatter project, and Don and Judy Tallerman, owners, if done according to the plans reviewed at this meeting and according to the procedures stipulated in section 405- of the City of Kingston's form-based zoning code, is compatible with the historic character of the district for the following reasons. The proposed work is to take place on the circa 1920s two-story commercial building with a tapestry brick front and common brick sides, located at the northeastern side of North Front Street and adjacent to the Senate House, and that a July 1987 building structure inventory form prepared by Friends of Historic Kingston states that, quote, "The building was constructed during the 1920s as Van Cleek Motors and Garage Inc., one of the first car dealerships to appear in the Stockade during this period. Along with a few others along Clinton Avenue, this type of use was concentrated in the northeastern area of the district. By 1950, the building housed the Ertel Engineering Corporation, which use was listed as the 1986 occupant. That the applicant shall install 4 permanent 8-foot by 7-foot by 8.5-foot permanent wall-mounted vinyl signs between the ground floor windows that will include images of young persons with self-empowering quotes as part of the I Matter project, a multimedia youth empowerment program that celebrates the sanctity and self-worth of teens and young adults. The campaign uses public media to engage people in all ages in conversations regarding the challenges facing today's youth while instilling a sense of communal pride and promise. That the applicant has submitted 2 sign waivers for numbers of signs and location and has submitted a sign application to the planning department. The HLPC makes the following advisory recommendations on each requested waiver. That the location will be centered between the windows, showing more brick fabric than is shown on what was submitted. Also that we're expecting that these will be considered permanent signage by the city of Kingston. Any changes or additions to the plans or work specifically described and outlined in the submitted application will be subject to further review by our commission prior to the work being carried out. Our commission's approval does not obviate the need for a building permit from the City of Kingston's Building Safety Division or any other required approvals from relevant coordinating agencies. Based on the preceding findings of fact, I move that on this 5th day of October 2023, our commission grant a preservation notice of action to the above referenced applicant. The work is described herein and in its application to the commission. Such notice to be subject to the conditions contained in the foregoing motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Thank you, Nettie. Any further discussion?
Do we get Bob's name correct?
No. It's Holden.
Yeah.
Oh, let me accept that amendment to correct the name. Oldman, M-A-N, I'm presuming?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Do you accept the
I do.
amendment?
Yes.
All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the roll. Kevin?
Aye.
Nettie?
Aye.
Andrea?
Aye.
I also vote yes. Thank you. Sounds interesting. I'll be curious to see how it plays out.
So far, so good. Thank you all.
Thank you. All right, let's double back to 93 Fair. Hi. Hi, do you have any idea what happened to the door?
A little bit.
Do you know where? Is there like a dumpster that they can dive into to do this? Is it hiding in a garage or in something? What happened here?
So I heard a text message. I drew on like the phone where how I wanted the little thing to go, where you cut it, you bump out the frame, you kind of enclose the whole entire front door area. And then they knew the original plan was that we wanted to get rid of it, so they went ahead and got rid of it. They sent me pictures afterwards. I'm like, I know she got anything that started to bleed because I was,
Can you tell us who the contractor was that got rid of it and where they got rid of it? I mean, we're talking in the last 48 hours here. It's not like.
No, it's been like that. Ethan only sent the email 48 hours ago. It was,
so
I mean, it's probably in the Ulster County. They were getting rid of a ton of my stuff. It's just these, Spanish speaking, that's where the language barrier came from.
Eso no es un problema para mí. If it seems that if you know who these people are, I can track it down.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm guessing the Kingston Ulster Resource Recovery, down by
When did the contract?
by the up there.
Do you know?
What's that?
Do you know when they?
I mean, this commission met only a couple of weeks ago and was still there in place then.
I can tell
So,
you right now.
That would be a kindness. Thank you.
I would table until get some.
Well, I mean, we're just trying to track as best we can what went on. No, we're not expecting.
It was September 23rd.
We're then on the 21st, so
9:23, so what are the odds? I don't know.
it's a Saturday.
Yeah, building salvage, they hang on to generally for a while. Do you know?
So it was removed, when they took it to, is that what you're saying? They removed it on the 23rd, when did they take it out, off the property? And who took it off the property, your contractor?
Couldn't tell you.
Okay,
What day? I mean, it wasn't there that week. I don't show up every day.
right.
I mean, if they have it,
I
then
mean, he could have taken it to a salvage place and sold it, you don't know, for
It would-
sure.
he might have. I doubt it, but
That would be a kindness if you could find out, and if you need me to do this for you in Spanish, I'm happy to do it.
sure. I
Okay,
mean,
yeah, please, we need your efforts here. And so I'm gonna ask you to do what you can to track it. If you need me to play interpreter, I'm capable.
I can do that.
All righty. The other thing is, we've got some other stuff that we can move on to. So we've talked about reconstruction of the surround. You had some questions about garden stuff in the front and things along the, I'm trying to understand what the bluestone was. Is it the facing on the side of the stairs? Is it a wall?
Yeah, so right now,
Just sign it.
the original, we don't know what the original was, but the most recent, what's there now is, it's like a concrete form, and then they put blue, concrete tops on it. It's, you see it around the city. But it's like shifted away, it's sinking, it's, the guys that I speak to, it's not, it wasn't the original, it was like a cheap way to do it. So now, so rather than, so my original thought was, okay, we'll dress it up with bluestone around to make it look like it's an historic district. And then-
She's got the photo up right there.
Yeah, so that, believe it or not, that whole thing is actually like, it's totally hollow in the middle, and that's, yeah, it's all, it's,
So you had sent a photo of another stone, so what are you looking to do? Reface the whole thing with bluestone, rebuild it in bluestone?
rebuild it, so rebuild it, and it would be concrete in the middle, concrete cinder block or solid in the middle, and the outside would be bluestone, so have bluestone on top, bluestones on the side. It would look, I sent one more photo, it's actually at Judy's house across the street, she had and other houses on the street, it's all like a nice, a really nice.
You're not proposing to change, I mean, redo it in bluestone, but no change in size or dimension.
No.
Okay.
And then,
The
but
one
Judy
thing-
actually recommended that handrail actually a little lower because it's
Okay, just with
historic.
the stairs, is the one thing you want to confirm, when you start replacing steps and stairs, treads and risers need to meet the current code standard, all right? So you need to make sure that what you are gonna put in will meet the new code, what the current code standards are. So if the rise is too short, you're gonna have to, so that may be adjusted somewhat. And you need to know that going into that project.
Okay.
4 or more risers, you were required to put in a guardrail and handrail. Well, guardrail is separate, sorry. The
Right.
handrail is required, yes.
Right.
Guardrail is more to do with fall protection. So if the stoop is 30 inches, more than 30 inches to grade, then you need a guardrail as well.
All right.
Yeah, and then the handrail, and then I think I was told, I suggested to make it a little lower because historically it's still slightly lower, is that?
There's
Judy told me.
code does not permit that in this case. Again, it's gonna, whatever your condition, your site condition winds up being for grade. If you have more than 4 or more risers to your stair, you need a handrail that is between. This is per code, and I don't remember this always off the top of my head, it's somewhere around 34 inches. Guardrail needs to be minimum 36.
Okay. Yeah, then I'll do whatever.
Yeah.
The building department can advise you.
All right, so what we're approving is a new, what will be visible will be bluestone. And the precise design, you're going to have to submit for the building department.
Mhm.
And there was something about a bluestone garden. I'm not clear what you were thinking of.
Oh, yeah. So from this edge of the house, it's a 1 foot high bluestone, just a little garden wall. Comes this way and back towards the stairs and also out here and then towards the little nook of the
So
house.
it would run out to your property line along Fair.
Yeah.
And so what height, at what height?
Just a foot, just a little garden, little
Okay,
garden
a
wall.
foot, okay,
That's this side,
Yeah, okay, so we're,
okay.
nothing.
so just.
And then I went around the historic district, I took some.
And you would run the length of the Franklin Street side?
No, so just the Fair Street, so the edge of that wall to the stairs, and then from these stairs, also a foot off the ground this way towards that jut out of the left side of the house. So yes, it would go along Franklin,
So it would
but
go
not
along
like,
Franklin.
not along the road, just the edge of the house.
So something like that, square this off.
Okay, so it would be coming all the way out, okay, so I'm looking here, so it looks kind of,
Kyla, can you go to this photo?
I can.
no,
No,
just the house, we're looking for the side yard.
Oh, there it is. So yeah, it would go from the edge of the house here, along the sidewalk, and then along the sidewalk here. We'd probably have to step up like 1 or 2 times, then go to the edge of here, and then it would be nice.
So not all the way to the street on that side, you're just going to where it juts out?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, just to here.
okay.
okay,
Or if it looks better, that's whatever you guys.
okay. And that's gonna be a bluestone as well?
Bluestone,
Dry lake?
we're probably gonna do it like in the concrete, yeah,
Okay.
just 'cause it's more solid, but I could dry lay too.
Okay. So. That's what the garden wall means. There was a question about a detail at the building corner. Sort of something columnar, I'm not sure what you have in mind, how big, how wide, tall, is it going to be fancy on top, fancy on the bottom, what are we talking
Oh,
about?
for the corners?
Yeah,
Yeah, he was gonna, guy who's gonna do like the detail on the door, he recommended just dressing up to the corners, and it would be like slightly recessed. In the photos,
Is that sketch?
in the photos, it's actually wider than he said it would be. It wouldn't be, it would be pretty much like that, and then the little crown at the top.
I'm trying to, yeah. Can
There's-
we
it's in
see
the-
this? Is that, so that's on the sketch, so let's.
Yeah.
Is that what this is? This one here.
Oh, I don't know.
yeah, keep going. Get some time.
Is there a water fountain downstairs?
Oh, maybe,
Is there a water fountain downstairs?
There is, yeah, so we're,
But there's a-
cooler, but I don't know that there's cups.
The ladies' bathroom?
Yes, through there.
Yeah.
Which is where?
Yeah,
Through
go
the-
through and take a right to the back here.
Thank you.
I did that, I don't know if you saw an elevation of the front and side, I don't know if that was.
I think that's what you're pointing to on here. Yeah, this one.
Yes.
It's a little hard to see on this rendering.
I'm gonna look in the files here and see what I have. I don't know what the.
This is the one I'm pretty
Okay.
sure we're discussing.
Yeah, so this craftsman, he recommended on the corners of the building to go up the side with a slight recess with crown. Goes up the side, a little crown on the top, and then frieze board along the bottom of the roof with corbels to also give it a little more historic.
Is that in keeping with the architecture of the structure?
Well, the
I'm just
architecture,
curious what you,
it was covered in aluminum. I was trying to make it more historic looking. I thought you guys would love that idea, but I don't have to do it.
But we're just trying to figure out what the idea really is. If we've got a kind of vague description,
Yeah.
and when you say Greek columns, I'm suddenly going, well, Doric, Ionic, what do we
Oh,
do
yeah. Squared off. I could send a,
I mean, there doesn't appear to be anything like that there now with the wood, the way that it is in this photograph here. This one.
yeah,
It's just a simple corner board, probably a 3 or 4 inch wide. I don't know that the extra is necessary in this case.
no, I think in general, the house is more of a simplistic or
Yeah.
style, and I think when you start adding these ornate elements, I think you kind of deviate from the character, the original historic character of the structure. I mean, that's my opinion.
yeah, and then I actually asked him for a detail of the corbels if it mattered, but
Right.
he said he's something like this 7.5 by 7.5, but again, we don't have to do that.
Yeah,
I
And that would
tend to favor the more simplistic of what's already present.
yeah. I
Okay.
mean, unless there's documentation to show that those ornate features were at one point there in place, I would tend to leave it more simple. Rather than add something just because. I mean, that would be mine.
Okay.
And then the last element would be the light fixture. So you show a sample, is that the type of light fixture that you wanted to install? And that would be at the front door?
Right
Is that
above.
the idea, or you have a side door as well?
Yes, it would be at right above the front door and then along the side door as well. And that was the one I thought was fitting, but I'll take recommendations as well.
Okay.
I don't have any objection.
Huh?
Yeah,
I don't have any objection.
Okay.
I think it some similar lights I've seen. These didn't exist when the house was built, but I think it doesn't call neon attention to itself or anything
Okay.
like that. All right. I think
Okay, so we're mixing the columns.
Where this is my little note.
Yeah, no, but I'm writing on the P&A.
Okay, I appreciate that. And can you tell us the name of the contractor, or was it a subcontractor that would have taken this, do you know?
Yeah, it's a subcontractor.
If you could ask the contractor the name and contact information for that subcontractor, please get back to staff. If we need to do another meeting on it, we will. If it needs to be a special one on site even. So I've forgotten exactly how many days notice we have to give for that. But thank you for that. All right. And writing that.
Yep.
we already have the name of the contractor to file?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
And that subcontractor who's doing the surround, he hasn't done any of the work yet. He's a fine carpenter, so he hasn't done anything yet.
Oh, no, I was talking about the folks who removed the door.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. Okay, we're permitting light fixture, and the front steps as described were permitted, and the garden, I just added the height on the wall and the materials. Okay, I think I've got it all.
All right, let's give it a shot.
All right. There you go.
Okay, I'm going to move that the commission president find as fact that the
Secret.
you have to hand me that sheet first. That way I will always remember. I know you've got it in front of you, but I used to have them piled on top of each other. So you're gonna have to wean me off that. I'm gonna entertain a motion that we declare this type 2 action under the State Environmental Quality Review Act. So thank you, Nettie. Do I hear a second? Thank you, Kevin. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the roll. Kevin?
Aye.
Nettie?
Aye.
Andrea?
Aye.
I also vote yes.
Okay.
All right. I move that the commission present find as fact that the proposed replacement of the Greek Revival entrance at 93 Fair Street in the Fair Street Historic District by applicant Ryan Arquette, if done according to plans reviewed at this meeting and according to the procedures stipulated in section 405-26 of the City of Kingston's form-based zoning code, is compatible with the historic character of the district for the following reasons. The proposed work is to take place at the 2.5-story framed Greek Revival single-family dwelling built circa 1860, located at the northwestern corner of the intersections of Fair and Franklin Street. A decision on the entryway is tabled for information regarding disposal or loss of the door to be submitted to staff. The applicant will not be expected to add corbels as they're not original to the structure. That the applicant is, are we saying that he's to replace the corner columns that were previously?
There weren't corner columns.
Oh, didn't exist at all.
So that's why the applicant is not permitted to
Thank you.
install fixed columns.
Thank you. It permitted to install fixed columns at the structure's corners, as presented as they're not original to the structure. The applicant be permitted to install a light fixture near the front entryway and at the sides of the detached garage doors that conforms with city code. That the applicant shall be permitted to beautify the front steps with bluestone as described at this meeting and change the railing to one that conforms with city code in Greek Revival style. The applicant shall construct a garden in the front end or side yards to beautify the landscape using a bluestone material on a 1 foot high wall. Any changes or additions to plans or work specifically described and outlined in the submitted application will be subject to further review by our commission prior to the work. Excuse me. Prior to the work being carried out, our commission's approval does not obviate the need for a building permit from the City of Kingston's Building Safety Division or any other required approvals from relevant coordinating agencies. Based on the preceding findings of fact, I move that on this 5th day of October, 2023, our commission grant a preservation notice of action, the above referenced applicant, for the work as described herein and in his application to our commission. Such notice to be subject to the conditions contained in the foregoing motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Thank you, Nettie. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the roll. Kevin?
Aye.
Nettie?
Aye.
Andrea?
Aye.
I also vote yes, and thank you.
Okay. Here you go.
All right. Moving right along. Abeal Street, 169 Abeal.
Hi.
I'm Tara Curtis, I'm the owner of 116 on Beale Street.
Hi, if you could give us a quick overview of what your plan is.
Sure, I want to replace 3 windows on the second story of the building. They're in a hallway that goes between the 2 unit entrances in that building. The windows are very deteriorated from weather and also vines that grew on the building and penetrated the windows and started to grow inside. And it's, as a consequence, very drafty in the hallway. And it doesn't look good either. So I want to replace those 3 windows. Yeah, those windows there. With vinyl replacement sashes that would be, energy efficient, and hopefully, improve the look, both inside and out. There are a number of other windows in the building that have been replaced in a similar manner before I owned the building.
Ethan had done a brief assessment that he sent around to everybody. I don't know if you've had an opportunity to review it. The majority, a lot of these windows in the building have already been replaced over the years. So these are just three of some of them that are left, but he did take a look. Thank you, Tara, for letting him get into the building and really take a close-up look at all of them. And it is his opinion that they are deteriorated pretty much, and have been in some cases already dismantled.
There was a discussion of the ivy is kind of working.
There's even less, I think, than in that one picture. We've been working to remove the ivy from the building because although it's pretty, it's so destructive, as you know. And so we've been working to get that off, but that was how the building was when we bought it. So we're slowly trying to resolve the situation.
Right, and I think one of the nice things to recognize here is the property owner. Obviously, we started our discussions a couple of months ago with the door on the side, and they ultimately agreed now to do restoration on that door and work with their carpenter to keep that door and redo some, weather stripping and whatever is needed to retain that feature. She's willing to do that. And then there are some other windows that Ethan's been talking to her about that she is looking at restoring those or replacing them with a salvaged window possibly. We don't know, but working on those. So she is making the best effort she can to restore the building appropriately in the Rondout district, so which is appreciated.
Right, and are we in the zone where this is binding or whether it's an advisory? I know the Rondout has.
No, this is in a historic district.
Okay. All right. Any further questions for the applicant from the HLPC member? All right. And I'm noticing a little arch detail in some of the pictures. Are they replicated on the inside? Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with that. Is that?
It's a common detail for a window.
Okay.
From a particular period, and they can be redone depending on what replacement window is done. If it's done in wood, then yes, that can be done.
Is that an important architectural feature? It seems difficult to see from the outside, honestly, at the moment.
Yeah, the ivy, unfortunately, in the picture does make it hard to see, but it is a styling that is visible.
Is it something that would be replicated in what you're trying to do?
No, I mean, my contractor did look into that, but he wasn't able to find, a suitable replacement that would have a similar curve on it.
Okay. Worth asking.
I asked him the same thing, believe me,
Right. Any further discussion? Here on none. I will entertain a motion to declare this a type 2 action under the State Environmental Quality Review Act.
Third time's the charm.
Motion, do I hear a second? Thank you,
Second.
Kevin. Thank you, Nettie. Any discussion? Call the roll. Kevin?
Aye.
Nettie?
Aye.
Andrea? I also vote yes, without prompting. And I move that our commission find as fact that the proposed replacement of 3 existing second-story wooden windows on the western side of 169 of Beale Street in the Rondout Historic District by Tara Cruz. Am I saying that right? Thank you. If done according to the plans reviewed at this meeting, according to the procedures stipulated in section 405-26 of the City of Kingston's form-based zoning code, is compatible with the historic character of the district for the following reasons. The proposed work is to take place at the 3-story Italianate structure dating to circa 1880 on the western corner of the intersection of Beale and Bean Streets, which, according to the November 5th, 1976 building structure inventory form, states it's one of the more intact buildings of this type and style in the district.
That's good.
That the existing 3 2-story wooden windows on the western face of 169 of Beale Street are badly deteriorated due to lack of maintenance, extensive ivy growth, and prolonged exposure to the elements and are not restorable. That the applicant shall replace the existing windows with 3 custom-fit J-Well WEN 1/1 wide energy efficient windows, that the applicant shall develop a preservation and maintenance plan to prevent deterioration of the structure's other exterior features, and any changes or additions to the plans or work specifically described and outlined in the submitted application will be subject to further review by our commission prior to that work being carried out. Our commission's approval does not obviate the need for a building permit from the City of Kingston's Building Safety Division or any other required approvals from relevant coordinating agencies. And based on the preceding findings of fact, I move that on this 5th day of October 2023, our commission grant a preservation notice of action to the above referenced applicant for the work as described herein and in her application to the commission, such notice to be subject to the conditions contained in the foregoing motion. Do I hear a second? Thank you, Kevin. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the roll in reverse. Andrea?
Aye.
Nettie?
Aye.
Kevin?
Aye.
I also vote yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Yeah.
All right.
I need to ask that. You can talk.
I'm kind of running left.
I think I'm the last.
Yeah, no, I get it, I understand.
Well, hi.
Hi,
Introduce yourself again for the record and give us a quick overview, please.
my name is Kate Hoffman. My partner and I, Nick Lemenica, bought 247 Broadway, December 28th, 2021, and now have some little monies to do something with the house. And much to our chagrin, when we bought the home, there are 3 exterior doors to the courtyard, but the previous owners had interior closet doors. Which is doing nothing for our energy efficiency.
Are these like hollow core?
But yeah, they're just like, they're, you can feel the wind come through the door. Which last winter we had no money to do anything because we bought the house. And so we just put up like moving the stuff that like the moving blankets over the doors. But that is not gonna work anymore. It's not gonna work anymore. So also much to our chagrin, our measurements, everything in the house is custom. All of the windows, all of the doors, custom, which cost a fortune. So we're working with the Door Jam, which is a local by the Ashokan Reservoir establishment, and they came up with 3 doors made of wood. There's no glass paneling on the doors at the moment on the interior doors used as exterior doors. But I would love to put 12 lights windows that on the door. Did I give you those?
Like a French door.
Yeah, I actually have, like sketches from the door jam that came through this morning.
Okay, so yeah, we have something that's a little out of date then?
Yeah, they just came through because they don't work Mondays and Tuesdays. So they just came through today and I sent
So can
Ethan.
you show those again, please?
Sure. It would be windows and then a wood paneling.
Okay, so you'd still have 12 panes.
Yes.
Okay.
And
And then, like a 3/4 door,
Yeah.
basically. Okay.
Yeah, which initially I would have loved to do all, like 15 light window door,
Uh-huh.
but that was like $2,000 more, so we don't got it.
So that you're doing all three would be exactly the same.
Yes, but the laundry room door is much smaller than the
I was gonna
other
ask what the
ones.
interior space on the other side of each door is.
One is a laundry room, that you'll just see, wood paneling. And then I was hoping to put like a coat rack up.
Okay.
But I also will probably put like lace curtains, so you can't really see that much inside for
Okay.
privacy. And then one of the doors goes into the kitchen. So you see like the counter space and an old table, and then the dining room space.
So areas where light would be nice.
Yeah, light would be really nice. My husband's like, we could do all wood. I'm like, you're not even home. You don't even know what you're talking about. But yeah, I would love to put more light into the house, just so we're conserving energy for electricity. Well, really the electricity bill is very high.
And so the doors behind you,
These are the interior doors that are currently
Right.
there.
and the one that's different size.
Is the one with the plant. Yep, it's much thinner, than the other two. Yeah, yeah. Apparently there, at one point in the home, there was a 3-season porch. And so the previous owner said he had intended to put the 3-season porch back on, but never got around to it.
So the glass doors replace these doors or go on the exterior, so you?
No, they'll
you're gonna open
replace.
Okay, so you're not gonna have two doors, you're just gonna have one,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yeah.
At first I thought maybe you were putting them on the, like as a storm door kind of.
Yeah, no, they're actually, the city of Kingston, make sure you have like a U factor number of 0.27, and most doors are 0.34. So it will be great, like weather resistant and all of that. Energy, yeah. Oh, it's crazy. I like literally everywhere I called besides the door jam, it's like, you're not gonna get that. You're not gonna find that. I'm like, well, how is it mandated then?
It has to do with the glass itself and solar heat being efficient.
Yeah, and actually they couldn't find 0.27, so we're getting a 0.20, which is even better, I guess. And costing us a lot.
Probably
Oh my
triple
God.
glazing.
Oh my God.
So is the door in the front, the door in the front of the house, I know you're not asking to replace that, but it looks very similar to these.
It's a wood panel door, but like you can
It's not
tell
hollow
it's,
core like these.
no, it's like thick, it's heavy. You have to
Okay,
like push it shut. These
Okay.
doors, like you can blow them shut.
okay.
Yeah.
We thought they were all the same door,
Yeah,
and I
no.
was just curious.
The door that's on our front door is not original either. That door had windows, like a 3,
Right.
more like this.
Okay.
There's also, we're like the door of windows and houses, or windows and doors, because there's also a door that's a Dutch door on the side of the home. But we're not looking to replace that, because I love Dutch
Okay.
doors. They're beautiful.
So these are 3 doors all right next to each other?
Literally, they're like in the courtyard, there's like a table in our courtyard, the dining room is here, the kitchen's here, and the laundry room's here.
Get outside anytime you want.
It's true. Everyone's like, just put another window, and I'm like, I actually love to like have the doors open and like inside, outside space, and like the trees are what drew us to the home, so hopefully it'll be, I mean, it already is nice, but we're really hoping to like do right by the property.
Okay, so we're going to be seeing 3 doors with wood
I think
panel on the
that's
bottom,
Yeah.
small glass panes on the top, bing, bing, bing.
Did you wanna see, it,
Well, I think I
what's
got, all right,
yeah, just so you're very.
right, so it's a single rectangular panel below,
Mhm.
3 by 4. And then it'll be sized to sort of same pattern size to fit the different sizes.
Yeah,
Okay,
Can you email that to Ethan in our office?
I did this afternoon, as
Oh,
soon as I
okay,
got
all
it.
right,
Yeah.
okay, good, so we have it, all right, got it.
do you
Okay.
want me
thank
to give it this,
I just
trade
wrote
name?
3/4 door with lower panel and 12 panes.
similar to this Volvo, I think is what the model is called by these folks? I try to be specific.
Okay. All right.
Alrighty, thank you.
If we have it in our email, then we'll be good.
All
Thank
right,
you.
Thank you.
kind of wild. All right, any further discussion or questions? All right, I will entertain a motion that we declare this type 2 action under seeker.
So moved.
Ooh, Eddie wins. Second to Kevin. Any discussion? Hearing none. I will call the roll. Kevin?
Aye.
Nettie?
Aye.
Andrea? Aye. For me. Oh,
This is a positive, right?
yes.
Okay.
It means we are winding down.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna let you read this.
Okay.
Because I'm just kind of
No,
writing
no,
my
no,
voice.
just, okay. So introducing the motion that the commissioners present find as fact that the proposed replacement of 3 existing white wooden doors on the rear of 241, 247 Broadway in the Chestnut Street Historic District by Catherine Hoffman and John N. Lamedica. Okay, the third, if done according to the plans reviewed at this meeting in accordance with the procedures stipulated in section 405-26 of the City of Kingston's form-based zoning code, is compatible with the historic character of the district for the following reasons. That the proposed work is to take place at the 2-story building with 2 front gables, each rising from separate sections of the lower structure, one original and the adjoining in addition. Which according to the July 19th, 1982 building structure inventory form dates to the mid-19th century. That the applicant has provided documentation that the 3 existing doors are insufficient and that replacement is the appropriate treatment. That the applicant shall replace the 3 doors with a 3/4 door with lower panel and 12 panes above, a Volvo manufacturer. Any changes or additions to the plans and or work specifically described and outlined in the submitted application will be subject to further review by our commission prior to the work being carried out. The commission's approval does not obviate the need for a building permit from the City of Kingston's Building Safety Division or any other required approval from relevant coordinating agencies. Based on the preceding amended findings of fact, it is proposed to resolve that on the 5th day of October 2023, that the commission grant preservation notice of action to the above referenced applicant for the work as described herein and its application to the commission, such notice to be subject to the conditions contained in the foregoing motion. Is there a motion?
I hereby move as so stated. Do I hear a second? Thank you, Kevin. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the roll. Kevin? Betty?
Aye.
Andrea?
Aye.
I also vote yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Super appreciate it. I was very worried.
Now,
For one second, I said either at his door, I was like, I'm okay, right? Good God.
Yeah, that was a fairly extreme move.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Is there
Kendra.
anything else that you need from me?
I don't believe so.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Enjoy your evening.
Thank you.
Take care.
I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second? Kevin, call the roll. Andrea? Aye. Nettie?
Aye.
Kevin? Aye. Also, vote yes.